Oh, hello, guys. Felix here. I've just gained 15 stone. Living well down here in Monte Carlo. No, it's not, guys. It's me. It's Danny. Danny Deals, guys, here at Un Poco Moss, the show where we give you just a little bit more. I like to joke that I have similar hair. Maybe I ate Felix, and but no, nobody. Like, you have to judge the guys on YouTurd who teach options by how they party, and I just have a feeling Felix parties on sort of a next level situation that I couldn't even be involved with or understand, like just yachts, Monte Carlo, golden retrievers, probably rave drugs I've never even heard of. God, I admire him. Anyway, of course, it's great. Carl Seamark, 3, 2, 1. Let's Poco, Carl. Of course, the man makes a good match. Yeah, I can't do these bits anymore. I ran back into Vaughn Gittin Jr., the drift champion. Yeah, he left my channel because he couldn't stand that bit anymore about him being the drift guy. But I don't know who else I've got. I've got the great Dick Wolf, of course. Yes, Carl, you're a good sport to play in with these horrible bits. But anyway, I want to talk Nio briefly because Nio made a move and everybody's like, should I dump? It always pulls back. It always reverts, lower. The shorts are on top of it. Like, what's happening, Danny? What's happening, you big freaking fat jerk? I'm like, okay, that's a little bit harsh, but I'll do my best to explain it. I was looking for some drone alternatives to DJI because I don't even, when they release the Mini Pro 5, am I going to be able to get one? Probably not. And am I going to crash it immediately if I do? Definitely. Even with that great obstacle avoidance, I still manage to crash drones consistently, usually into my own head. I always try to fly them inside. I don't know why. Just a complete idiot. Anyway, guys, it's Un Poco Moss. They call me cornbread because I'm moist, doughy, and I crumble under pressure. And it's just one of those scenarios. I kind of call this a Sputnik hammer fist moment because you just have absolutely no idea what to do, what's going on. Is the run over? Everybody's telling you to buy AI. Everybody's telling you to buy AI. Now, all of a sudden, everybody turns and they're like, this Sam Altman guy, Josh Altman, whatever, is the real estate guy, I guess, also the head of one of these big, AI operations. I believe he's selling Los Angeles, selling Las Vegas. It's not as good as the other guy, this like psychopath guy with the bull haircut. Hey, cake. Oh, he was always banging on Matt. He was like always bashing that dude Madison Hildebrand because he was like, I don't know, soft spoken or whatever. Weird show. But during COVID, you watch these shows, watch guys, sort of metrosexual guys in LA selling real estate and call that a show. Okay. Really no idea what the point is. I got like 0 sleep last night. I woke up like 1 a.m., just walked around my neighborhood, walked down along the ocean all night. And it's just one of those nights. I can't really think straight, but I'm thinking about doing an all-night show, YouTurd show for insomniacs. But that's neither here nor there, guys. As far as, I guess I should talk a little bit about Nio if it's going to be a Nio video, but huge volume today, guys. Why all the volume? Was it really because the ES8 was announced? I mean, if you look at the trading, it's a ton of buying, but it's not that normal thing we see with Nio, which is that peak explosion. This looks very, very controlled. I mean, I'm fearing an attack, but there's a lot of positive things that are kind of lining up. They said they're going to get some other brands on the swap network in H2. You see more and more deals with local provinces to build out battery swap. You see potential deal. You already have sort of a deal in principle with CATL, but you don't know exactly what that's going to mean. Hopefully that means a lot more cars, a lot more brands being pushed onto the Nio network. But I think more than anything, Nio had the right strategy to stay pure EV. And I think they have an extremely compelling product lineup all the way from Firefly, the L90. You see the ES8, they're just released. It's going to be the largest pure EV SUV in China. And it's going to compete very favorably, as will the L90. I think the L90, like I said, is the most compelling value proposition in the entire automotive industry when you consider battery as a service. And I think people prefer battery as a service anyway, for swap, for not having to worry about the battery going bad, not have to worry about it aging. It just takes all the worry and all the anxiety out of owning an EV, honestly. And plus, it eliminates a staggering portion of the cost. I was actually surprised how much of the cost this eliminated. If you look at this, a good article on Car News China. Nio ES8 Gen 3 charges largest pure electric SUV, begins pre-sales from 42,000 with battery as a service. Now, look at how much this knocks off the cost. So the standard model is 57,000 US dollars, but with battery as a service, it's 42,000. So it takes $15,000. It's nearly 30% of the cost is in that battery. So this allows people to get into a much higher end vehicle for a lot less money. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And that's the way consumers are looking at it. Now, the intelligent buyer is saying it also does a million other good things besides just save me money from day one. It's good for all kinds of other reasons. But you can go through this article. It basically goes through all the dimensions, very large, talks about what it's going to be, competing against, such as these models from Ito, which actually start, at a much higher price point because they don't have swap available. Now, this comes standard with the 100 kilowatt battery pack, and at that point, it is, fairly high price point. But this is a very, very high end vehicle. With swap, it starts lower than the 6-seat Tesla. And these vehicles, I don't even feel like, in terms of like luxury and features, they're not even comparable. I mean, this bad Oscar's got like 4 LiDARs. I mean, the Ito M8 is 51,000 and the M9 is 69. I think it competes more with the M9 because, like I said, it's the largest pure EV in China. With Nio, you get an extraordinary value for your money. I just think it's an unproven brand and it's been slow to adopt. I think that's why the CATL deal is so important, but also the state pushing this thing forward. You have to know the state knows the pipeline, which companies are ready to go with Nio swap vehicles and why they're making these deals. Would they let these provinces, there's extreme central control in China. I know these, states can invest their own money in these regional authorities. They're tremendously powerful. But let's be honest, they would not have the government funding the build out of the swap network, in sort of partnership now with CATL if Nio had any chance of going out of business. It's just, there's too much going in. There's too much investment. There's too much foundational work that I don't think any other company has even approached doing. You see what other Nio's building their own, Shenji self-driving chips, which is one of those chips is equivalent to 4 NVIDIA Orion chips. So they're going to be able to sell those. I know they're not competing, with some of the larger, self-driving vehicle control. They were trying to. Is that going to be able to get off the ground? Is CATL going to be, selling the Nio system in their skateboard? I don't know. There's more questions than answers at this point. I think that's why a lot of these people, if you look at, say, like, Seeking Alpha, and Seeking Alpha is probably my favorite authors in terms of the analysis. Should you buy this, that, old? Everybody's saying Q2 results are going to be disappointing. They're talking about being profitable by Q4. I mean, I don't know, guys. I'd love to see your thoughts. It's very difficult for me, given the cash burn rate, the sales trajectories and stuff, how they get profitable in Q4. You have to be selling a ton of ES8s. You have to be selling a ton of Envos. That's not to say they can't do it, but I also think you need other vehicles being announced coming into the swap network just to get more sort of, gravitas or sort of heat. There's so much smoke around this company. They're doing so much. They have the only, viable swap network in China. And there's a lot of recognition that swap is going to be an important part of the EV landscape. They have very compelling products from top to bottom. I mean, they're bringing out another, what is it? I guess their VP just confirmed, I forget what it was, but basically it's the same super model as their, $100,000 price point sedan. They're bringing out, I guess Q1 2026, they're bringing out an SUV on that same platform. So it's going to be like a supercar SUV, the same way that's like a super executive saloon type of thing. And they debut the third gen ES8 large SUV, very, very aggressive pricing for pre-sales. You can go through that's 25% less than the last model, than the Generation 2 with the 100 kilowatt battery, and lower than the Tesla's Model Y under the battery as a service. So I just think, like I said about the L90, Nio provides an extremely compelling value proposition to bring you into their ecosystem, bring you into the power system, bring you into all of it. And I think once you're used to that, once the Nio Power Swap is your gas station, you're not going to want to go back and fight all the other dumpskis at the charger. You know, you stole my charger, you stole my, nobody's going to steal your battery once you swap it. It's not going to try to like swipe your credit card and grab your charger. You see all these issues with like the Tesla thing. It's just, it's not that there aren't chargers, it's just that it's a huge pain in the ass. And when you're on a road trip, you really, you know, you think you're going to find that 5-minute fast charger out in the middle of nowhere. You're going to find a Nio battery swap if you're in China along major highways. Along major highways. You guys want to see a miniature Nio I have? There you go. There you go. There you go. I have another one. I buy toys. I enjoy toys. Another Nio toy. Anyway, stupid is, stupid does. So yeah, I didn't really have much to say on this stream. I think Nio's up because it's been completely suppressed. I was advising you guys in strongest possible terms to buy. You know, back here you could have been buying in April at, you know, $3, and you could have just been buying in, you know, like the 7th, 8th of July, 350 level. So the stock has gone from 350 to 550 in like 6 weeks or less. It's easy money, guys. It's pretty extraordinary. And you see the volume come in, the buying come in. What is the chart telling us? I don't know. Who the hell knows? Basically it broke. It's okay. It passed this level. It also is going past this shoulder right here. So if it can break through this kind of 550, see that? See, that's kind of the upper bound of this shoulder. After that, a lot of people are saying, okay, 608 is going to be resistance, because this was a flipping point right here at 550. This was a like a lever here. I don't think so, guys. I think the stock is going to $7.20. I mean, you know, I think the real resistance is going to be here. Boom, boom, boom. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? I think the resistance is here. I think the rest of this is noise. I think this is the move. This is the gap. This is the pump. This is the time. You are the investor. You guys are the bouncers. I am the cooler. I wish I was a fat Patrick Swayze. Roadhouse just once. Just beating the hell out of 15 guys at a bar. Topless chicks dancing on the tables, throwing their underwear. It just doesn't work out when you're a fat guy. It's not how your bar experience goes. Kind of feebly wander around trying to talk to anybody you can, while her friends hurriedly pull her away, afraid she might, you know, be just drunk enough to give you her number. Oh, that was the life. Anyway. Chevy car. I can buy I-90 at the same price. L90. Yeah, I mean, you know, Canada does what Canada does. Yeah, so up again after hours, $5.63. You just don't see anything. You see this just walk down here from, you know, 592. You see the highs. So it's, once it breaks through this kind of, you know, 615 level, there's just nothing for me in the form of any type of resistance. I never honestly thought this stock should really go below 10. And I know they had some really rough seas there, but they're talking about, this is the growing pains of building what they've built. I think their execution has been I don't think people talk about how good their execution's been in terms of building out this swap network, releasing vehicle after vehicle after vehicle. I'm not saying they're the best cars out there, but it's a full lineup. They threw down the gauntlet early. They said, this is who we are. We're a pure EV company. We're a swap company. Even through all the hard times, the doubts and naysayers, when it looked like they weren't going to get there, they never, ever wavered. And they always did the right thing by their customers. And they always defended their brand. They knew where they were going. You know, that's the confidence of conviction. That's the power of conviction. I think William Lee has that. I think the other people have that. I think the government saw that. And I think they saw this was viable simply because of the will behind Nio. I think this company is going to go down historically very, very important in automotive history, perhaps Chinese economic history. I think a lot of people are going to look back and they're going to see these swap stations everywhere. And it's going to be Nio that didn't give up on that had the balls, a huge set on him. William Lee, come on, poco mas, William Lee. Talk about the size of your balls. We want to hear about it. I don't want to upset that guy that doesn't like anus talk. You know, they call me DA. Oh, man. I have low country Luton Pond. He has long enough fingers to be my personal physician. He's going to get back to me. Works in the metric system, as do most science types. What do you think of that bit that Felix gained 15 stone? That's who I am. I guess the beard kind of gives it away. 9%. Yeah, Hong Kong just pretty much follows US or Geordie, or they step on it. So I don't know. I love your work with the Green Bay Packers, by the way. I'm so tired, guys. I slept like one night out of the last like 3 weeks. And I'm exercising and I'm trying to diet and I'm giving up coffee. This show's going to kill me. They're just going to be like, pogo. I'm hooked up to an EKG the entire time. So if you're just this long, monotone buzz, I don't know, say a prayer for me. No, seriously, I hope I don't die on this broadcast. You guys would all need therapy. It's not shocking. He was fat. Yeah, he was fat. That's what everybody will say. They're really nice to you, like right when you die, then they start like picking you apart. Everybody says good things about somebody for like 5 minutes, and you start getting like the snipers come out and they want to sell stories, and like TMZ comes, well, I really heard, he wasn't that good a guy at all. I talked to his old business partner, said he's a real piece of shit. I talked to his stepson, he said he was never around for Christmas. Like, they just start like bashing the shit out of you. You can't defend yourself. Like, why are you going to pick on a guy who just died? Well, he can't defend himself. I got a lot of, built up shit I didn't have the balls to say when he was alive. So go ahead and go after him now. Like a real Patrick Swayze wouldn't do that. Patrick Swayze would confront the guy right then. I don't care if he has like a boot knife. He clocked it. He had an ocular. Patrick Swayze, just like Mac and Country Mac, immediately does an ocular pat down. He clocked that boot knife immediately. He's like, boot knife. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Said to that big, huge, fat bouncer. I love that dude. He's so good-natured. Good smile. He's like the Bob's Big Boy guy. Looks kind of like that dude on Mad TV, honestly. Is the bouncer from Roadhouse actually the same big guy from Mad TV? He does like Tony Soprano. He's just hilarious Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal's America. He just goes around meeting people who are Makeup America, and he's proud to be American. He just ends up like beating the hell out of all of them for no reason. Pretty funny. William Sasso, I think is his name. Will Sasso. I've seen that guy around. I'll put on a sleeve list for you. They're a Love Boat. Might be a little bit of the tugboat, if you know what I mean. Know what I mean? Tugboat, know what I mean? Know what I mean? Tugboat, know what I mean? I'm an idiot, guys. Thank you, Richard. I can't really see that well, but your girlfriend looks lovely. Hopefully that's her in your avatar. Be awkward if that was like your ex. Be one of those like moments when that dude he like caught on Coldplay. Oh, either they're brother and sister, or it's like, dude, that's like the world you live in. You gotta act right, man. You fuck up, you're done. It's gonna be on your phone. It's gonna be on social media, and be like, oh, so and so is acting stupid. Like, yeah, I already know. It's all over. Just don't act a fool. You used to be able, when I was young, you could act a fool and everybody would just forget it in like a haze of alcohol. Did he really do that? Like, I don't know. Nobody had a smartphone yet. It's the 90s. He probably did. He's a big fat jerk. No, guys, seriously. No, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but here's what I'm seeing. Is this going to break this just absolute ball crippling downtrend this stock has been in? It's very hard to say. You see sustained buying in volume here around these levels. Are they buying these shares here to then push the stock down again and reshart? Do these guys have the huevos on them to reshart? Do they have the minerals? Do they have the intestinal fortitude, the ganas, the desire, if you will? With all due respect to Edward James Olmos and Lou Diamond Phillips, of course, the great Lou Diamond Phillips. Hey, teacher, what's calculus? Great movie, Stand and Deliver. Edward James Olmos, a really good actor, man. Totally underrated. I think he just, like, that guy could have been a huge star if he wasn't, Hispanic. Like, you just didn't see, like, back in the day. You really still don't. I mean, you don't see a lot of, like, Asian and Hispanic, movie stars and actors, even though they do make up a huge percentage of the population. See mostly, like, black and white stars. I don't know why that seems kind of true. It's like a lot of times in Hollywood, some kind of in the ass end of the industry, like at certain points in my life, and you hear about how difficult it is just to find like parts. Like people like, oh, if you're an Asian actor, and that's like certain parts you can just apply for whoever you are, but a lot of times they're looking for a specific appearance. So there's like Asian parts. If you go to read, it's like less than 1% of parts. So it's just, not only are you not going to get it, but you're not even going to like find something to be able to read for, audition for, submit for, whatever. It's just a shit. It's just a shit thing, But that's the industry. It's like entertainment industry is very obviously superficial. So that's kind of the whole point, right? It's not real life. Some cookie cutter version of life that people fantasize about so they don't have to deal with real life. Shitty stock picks. And people are like, and obviously there's a lot of other stocks I've been talking about. I think CRISPR, SMCI, I think especially CRISPR, I think is a very strong buy there, because super micro, you could argue the volume and the buying pressure is somewhat subsided. I mean, but frankly, that stock coming off, 18, I still think is holding up quite well, considering you have to understand what is the market today. Like, when I was young, when I started doing this, and then in the mid 90s, like the market behaved a lot more predictably based on traditional metrics like, multiples. And when you talked about the macro economy, you had an idea where things were going. They had interest rates, things trended. The way this administration is, there's a lot more like, punctuated equilibrium. There's a lot more like, this is a crisis, this is an emergency, this is an emergency declaration, I'm putting these things, and it just moves the markets in these extreme ways, and it affects inflation, it affects interest rates. Like, that's going to affect the stock like SoFi a lot if like everyone was baking in interest rate cuts this year. And I think it doesn't matter, for me, I just buy more SoFi anyway, because they don't need interest rate cuts. They crush any market, because Anthony Noto's the best executive, I think, anywhere. I think anyone else, they would have folded up the tent and gone home. just iced their testicles. But that's not the kind of linebacker, Anthony Noto's parents raised. They raised a stone cold killer and a badass. Same as William Lee's parents. Did something right. Said, just get an efficient haircut. 10 seconds. Boom. Just get the weed whacker and go. It's like, all right. Anyway, guys. Yeah, I can understand that. I just feel the opposite about SMC. Like, okay, the CFO guy, sure. I don't even think Uncle Chucky trusts him, but I trust Uncle Chucky. The guy is pushing the industry forward. He's leading the trade groups. He's like, he is creating in that space. I mean, you do not want to leave Uncle Chucky alone in space because he is going to absolutely exploit you. He's going to get open. Shot play. Oh, I miss when all the announcers were saying shot play. It's for like 2 years. Every long pass. Shot play. Shot play. What about Brent Musburger just repeatedly saying John David Booty for no reason? John David drops back. John David. Like no other announcer and no other game and no other time is the guy saying the quarterback's like first name, middle name, full name over and over and over and over again. Oh, John David Booty. John David. Sometimes Musburger was just, I don't know, man. You'd swear the guy was having a couple of cocktails. He knew Summerall was getting sauced. Or I don't know, but just sounded like it. But also when people get older too, they could have, different medical conditions and, medications and such that might, impair their speech also. So I hate to be like a judgmental prick. I'm just joking also. John David drops back. John David. Like, dude. I don't know, man. It's just weird. Some things are just weird. Like, see, like, people... I still remember that. So probably, I don't know. How long ago was John David Booty quarterbacking for USC? Like 30 years ago? No idea. Oh, John David. Something about that deep timbre of his voice, just saying John David over and over and over again. I just found it disturbing. I don't know why. If there's any psychiatrists out there, probably I'm in need of shock therapy. Like the Bill Murray character in Ghostbusters. No, I'm sorry. What is it? A bunch of squiggly lines. It's like, no, I'm sorry. It's like trying to hit on the guy's girlfriend. Oh, I have no idea. When do we sell SMCI? Like, here's the thing. Blackwell is coming. Like, they are going to get a certain percentage of that business. They are going to have more hyperscalers. Their numbers are going to pump. They're going to grow the top line at 50% this year. And even if the margins just improve a hair, they're going to make a lot more money. And the market event, like I said, it goes back to those. The market doesn't even work based on any type of logic anymore. The market these days, it's like, if you really want to get wealthy, and this is a stupid thing to do, but if you really want to be, you have to get in one of these bubble assets at the right time, ride the wave up. Like I would argue, I think Palantir and Hood, I think they're incredibly good companies. I have a few shares of Palantir. I have very little Hood. I had a few options. So I had a tiny bit of participation. I also like, the fintech, ETFs and such. So I've done very well on some of those of late. But the point is, people are not treating the markets like somebody smart, like a Tanner who's, be long-term, look at the total addressable market, don't buy and sell. That's the type of person who's going to be sitting there when he's older and he's going to have a massive, massive fortune beneath him. Now, there's other people who were talking about, like the Jeremy guy, financial education. Jeremy, he's very good. He's obviously built a huge fortune. But, the cautionary tale people are saying, like, he's more of a gambler, like he's taking risky positions, he's going a little bit in and out. But I mean, I like somebody who takes profits, who recognizes maybe something is not working out, their thesis isn't playing. I actually think I was one of those people who like misjudged Jeremy, like based, it was like, oh, he's like tattoo chef, like everybody kind of went nuts on that. But I mean, I've been watching the guy's videos and his analysis is really good. I mean, he's a pretty smart guy, actually. He's no stock Mo. I mean, he's not sporting an unbranded black baseball cap, but he's a pretty farts Miller. No, his and his timing is good. Like, he has a good sense of momentum. He really sees what's gathering a little bit. That's what I try to do, but I'm just not that smart, and I'm portly, which doesn't help matters any. But anyway, so what's the short interest doing? Short interest and shares on loan have both gone way down. Cost to borrow has gone way down. Utilization still high. Short score is still pretty high, but considering that short interest of the free float was just 13% in July, to be a couple percent down, it's very manageable. To where you think this stock could actually make a move. Now, what's disturbing to me, and I'm not somebody who's trying to like poo-poo anything. I'm not a wet blanket. I'm not a party killer. I'm not somebody who, top loads your toilet and leaves a dinner party and you're flushing your toilet for the next 6 months, just wondering what the hell's going on. Hey, do I got rusty water? What's that smell? What's going on? Why was that fat guy in the restroom so long? Did he top load me? This son of a bitch, that fat son of a bitch top load me? And you're like, you goddamn right I did. That's the Unpoco Moss. Top load that tank, fun and profit. I'll man boob right out the back door. Fuck all y'all. Fuck all y'all. No, guys. No, seriously. This is a very serious show. And I seriously haven't slept in 3 weeks. Seriously. Nothing a little sparkling water can't cure. You ever just need to be under the care of a physician and just decide you can just have a sparkling water? No, my stomach's fine. I just need like a sparkling water, like a Tums. Haven't you had like 600 Tums today? Yeah, I just worry. About stuff. What are you worried about? I'm worried I might run out of Tums. No, don't worry. Don't ask me questions. It's going to make me worry. Oh my God. I call my own mental health into question. I call it into question. I cast doubt. Seriously, I think I might have issues. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? I think I might be completely insane. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Oh, the great Jeremy Miller. What's going on, Jeremy? How's your hairline? You still socking away chestnuts in those cheeks for the winter, my friend? Oh, boy. Guy looks like a flying squirrel. No, seriously, I'm just bitter because I'm fat and ugly and old. It's a handsome man, that Jeremy Miller. Alfred E. Miller, they call him. What's up, Frank Flamish? Nothing is over. Frank drew first blood. But you can't win, John. Am I supposed to listen to you because you're in an overcoat and a beret, sir? Who comes in the beret in this day and age? What are you, in the French Foreign Legion? That's enough. That's enough, John. Getting a little bit personal. I thought you got divorced the third time, Nobody can stand you. Nobody can stand you, Troutman. We didn't need to weather this old stuff, did we, John? Not in front of everybody. Not in front of Brian Dennehy. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Yeah, you first blood, sir. Thanks, Frank Flamish. Appreciate you, bro. What if Troutman and Rambo just got into it? Rambo just had to come back and kill Troutman over some old beef. Delford Brimley made it. He's like, no, he's like, oh, that was the other one. He's like, no, Delford Brimley made it. And he's like, no, cancer ate him alive. Why am I doing it now? I changed from, I was trying to do Rambo, and I started doing somebody else. I started doing like a Seagal or something. It sucks getting old. Nothing works right. Your brain. Your schmiggus. You're always crunching your testicles under your fat thigh when you're sitting down. Just extremely painful. What else is wrong? Bad ankle, bad knee, broken foot, bad hip, nerve pain in my leg, bad discs, bad back, insomnia, can't turn my head to the left because my neck doesn't work, destroyed my shoulder, elbow, wrist, pitching and playing tennis. Hey, let's let that fat kid pitch another game. Yeah, he won't go anywhere in life anyway. Work that arm. Oh, man. The excesses of youth. Am I right? Am I right? Oh, wear and tear on a fat guy, you know? Just so much wear and tear just doing normal stuff. Like, if you're like a normal guy, imagine having like a 180-pound like dummy on your back all the time. It ain't easy, guys. I'm downsizing. Danny Deal 2.0. I'm downsizing this bitch. I'm going full short. I'm walking. I'm eating low-fat cottage cheese. I'm eating green stuff. I'm eating a few whole grains. I didn't know they had those. Whole grains. What is this? Some kind of a nursery rhyme? Was this Hans Christian Andersen or something? Whole grains. Give me a fucking break. Like I said, I'm completely sick of people in Los Angeles talking about the stuff their kids can't eat. Did you have him tested professionally? No. Little Ethan is just special. His body tells me he can't eat bread or milk or meat or anything. You ever think your child might be starving? Oh, no. It's not moving. I don't know. I just think like kids are a little bit more durable than people think, like especially rich people. Rich people think their kids are going to get harmed by everything. Your kid's sleeping in like a Faraday cage, some kind of hyperbaric chamber. Anyway, I don't really know what this show's about. Thanks, Francisco Hefner. Carnivore diet. Yeah, I tried all these diets. I've done a million diets, guys. I can lose a ton of weight. It's like some of these diets, I got to do something sustainable. Just get a lot more exercise. Get out from behind this fucking desk. Get away from a digital life. Stop making stupid YouTube videos where I'm sitting on my fat ass talking to 49 losers. Got no freaking life. I'll watch some idiot, disheveled fat guy spout non sequitur sends fragments about stocks that you're never going to make any money in, because even if they go up, you don't have the common sense to exercise any discretion and go, hey, you know, this stock just went from 18 to 60. Maybe I'll play these. You know, I notice it going up and down like a freaking EKG, peaks and valleys and freaking straight up and straight down. Like, do I ever think maybe this is a huge opportunity over and over and over again to make money? How did I more than 40x my SoFi account in less than 9 months? By accident? No. It's so easy to beat this market, guys. People are like, oh, you've never 10x the stock. I've 100x the stock. 100x your mom. Don't tell me my business, boy. People just always judge a book by its cover. It's like, oh, this stuff doesn't mean anything. I was like, some of the smart people who are like, sort of like, oh, this guy's not serious. They used to say, oh, you put too much emphasis on the shorting, on options. Now I see their shows. They do the exact same things I used to do. You know, exact same stuff. So it's easy to kind of, you know, but the money is there, guys. I mean, when stocks make huge runs, they don't go up forever. A stock like CRISPR comes off 30, goes to 70, goes back to 50. It can easily move up. if you look at like Fibonacci, stuff like that, it works out almost perfect. But everybody's like, oh my God, what should I do? What should I do? If you're smart, listen to Tanner. Don't do anything because you're too dumb and weak and scared and stupid and greedy to trade. It's like you're impatient and you're greedy all at once. You have conflicting emotions that don't work well together and are easily exploited by people much smarter than you who understand your psychology a lot better than you do. That's why you keep losing money. Because you sell the dip and you smell the rip. And because when you buy these stupid calls, you don't understand how to play them. This is unusual to get this pop like on a Thursday. I keep saying, if you're going to trade weeklies, buy on the low on Friday, which is, about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes before the market closes when they're killing options, and then sell on the pop on Tuesday. You can make 50 and 60% oftentimes in 3 days. I do this over and over and over again. Just limit your downside exposure. This is just free money, guys. It's free money on this bullshit false volatility. Like, well, what should I do? What should I do? What good do I tell you? You don't know already. I wish I could help you guys. I wish I could just take your money and invest it for you. But unfortunately, I don't have the licensure. I just don't have the licensure. But it's just basically getting out of your own way and stop being afraid of price action. That's what it comes to be like. Oh my God, the price went. So what? It's obviously being fixed. I mean, look at Nio. Look at these. This isn't how stocks behave. It would go up during the day. It trades sideways and down. This is the first time it went up during the day, and this is an obvious, wannabe flock of seagulls pattern too. It's an inverse flying V. Look at all that volume at the beginning of the day and this move up, all the volumes and then move up. This sideways and down makes this little swimming pool we used to see all the time on SoFi. Fugaze. This thing's going to 720. It might, if they dip or if there's some BS in China, okay. You can't fight the trend. The trend is your friend, or more often for me, the trend is your enemy. But there always comes a breaking point. It was Kitty Woods who talked about it. It's like, aren't you worried they keep suppressing it? They keep pushing it down. She's like, no, I'm not worried at all because I study the fundamentals of this business and I know what I know, and I'm confident in my own research, my own interpretation of events. I don't rely on other people to tell me the future. I use my own crystal balls. And everybody used to question whether Kitty Woods' crystal balls were good or not. Now, who's laughing now? Now she's back on top, and all you inverse Kitty Woods people can suck an egg because you're weak sauce turds. Kitty Woods runs a bunch of, ETFs and makes a ton of money on fees. She's a natural beauty. She doesn't need makeup. That's what pisses everybody off. That's why men can't stand her. That's why she's friends with Noto and Elon. Because they're secure in the size of their own genitals. Unlike most of you freaks. God, I hate you guys. Absolutely, Keynes Tam. Why did you change your picture, Keynes Tam? I liked your smile and your big forehead. But the dog's cool too. Vagabond Joe's. Oh yeah, send it right to me. Poke me on Friendster. Frank Flamish. Get that number, big man. I tried, Frank. Didn't work out for me. As I got older, I got kind of figured things out. It has nothing to do with what you look like or how much money you have. I mean, if you have a lot of money and you're good looking, it certainly helps. But since I wasn't blessed with those attributes, I had to actually develop a good personality. Not that you'd know that by watching this channel. Fuck, this channel sucks. Anyway, let's see. You're absolutely right, Jeremy. Once you figure that out, and it's also just nobody cares. the more you don't care, the more you don't take yourself too seriously, the more you don't worry about stuff, the more you don't care what people think, like the more people pick up on that. And that's really what confidence is. Real confidence is just knowing who you are and not caring what people think. And that did take me a little while. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? But I'm not here to be like Dr. Phil. Do you know that your kid displays 18 of the 20 warning signs of being a serial killer? We're here because we can't organize our garage. Yeah, but keep an eye on that little fucker. He's going to kill somebody. It makes these snap diagnoses. Barely even knows the people. No idea. Just no idea. I don't know, man. But he knew Oprah. Like, that's some big shit. Oprah couldn't. I'm convinced Oprah really isn't that smart. I mean, I've listened to her and I tried to say, okay, she's got to be brilliant. She made $1 billion. So did Taylor Swift. I don't think Taylor Swift is brilliant either. I mean, she's smarter than me, I guess. Anyway, so I guess that's it. This show is so bad. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But honestly, like $7.20, it's going there. Like, and it could go there in a real hurry because there's a lot of pent up demand for this stock. A lot of people sort of sold on the fall. They tried to find the bottom and they're waiting for that, confirmation. That sort of investors business daily style confirmation. They don't want to try to find the bottom. I try to find the bottom. Like, I'm the guy who begs you to buy SoFi at 450. I'm the guy who begs you to buy Nio at 3 and 350 because I believe I can look at the data and find the bottom. And quite often I can. And quite often I'm wrong. But all the time, I'm portly. Anyway, guys, yep, closed above 550. It's very, very bullish, guys. We've cleared all the mess. It's really clear sailing up into the sevens, and I don't think this stock should have been below 10. I think you have to sometimes, people are like, okay, multiples matter, units sold matter, but sometimes there's just a lot more going on behind the curtain, and you have to sort of see which one of these things is not like the others, which one of these things does not belong here. And Nio is really the only EV company I'd even think about buying right now. I still own a lot of Tesla, but I can't buy it at these valuations. I hope they get the robots going. I think they will. And when they do, and when we start seeing what those revenues and margins and all that look like a few years, I definitely, I'm not saying I wouldn't buy more Tesla. I just, with the numbers, with the current sales, with where I see things going, their sales trajectory, no clear, path in sight to when these robots are going to be sold. No real clear path in sight to how much revenue robo-taxi is going to generate. I mean, I like it. I know that's what all this, AI and self-driving has been leading up to. And I know Tesla is really a robotics company and not a car company and an AI company and a chip and all this stuff. But Tesla also just, didn't they just give up on making their own chips, and gave up some big part of their business? Not a big part of their business, but a lot of these things they said they were going to do, and everybody said it would give them this competitive advantage in terms of vertical integration. It was just foolhardy. Just bought the stuff from AMD like everybody else. You're not special, Elon. I mean, you are, but can't do everything. So anyway, guys, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Tesla says they don't need LiDAR. They just use cameras, but I don't know. Maybe if they took the wrong approach a long time ago, they can't admit it now. And, when you see Tesla, the current iterations of full self-driving, it does not look like that's ready for driverless. It just gets into some doesn't look like it's even close to me. So I don't see how they're doing this already. I guess the regulatory environment has changed to such a degree that just kind of let it out there. But you have to start testing. I mean, I'm not saying it's not where shouldn't be able to start testing it, but I think if you just let the driverless cars out right now as is, you're going to have a lot of problems. Well, it might still be much, much safer than human beings. And statistically, it's just they'll sensationalize any type of, bad crash or deaths or whatever. And it's like, well, there's tons of deaths from, car crashes all the time. And statistically, Tesla is obviously much, much safer because of all those automation and features that avoid having accidents in the first place. But sometimes the accidents are of such a nature that they're very much, media fodder and sensationalized. So you just have to see what happens there. I just sell covered. Yeah, that's definitely another way to go. I mean, selling covered calls, in my estimation, if you believe the stock isn't going up, right, is kind of another way of taking profits. You're sort of taking profits in that you're betting the stock is not going to go up rapidly unless you want to get called away or roll your calls or whatever. So, yeah, I don't blame people for suing. I mean, they've been selling full self-driving for many years now, and it's just up to now, I wouldn't say it's been vapor, but it hasn't been really functional in terms of what they were promising, but they've been getting closer and closer and closer, and somebody, has to be first. But if you look at what's going on in China and, WeRide and all that, I don't think it's fair to say that Tesla, everybody's assumed, they have the most data, they're miles ahead. Nobody can catch up. That Australia dude with the little hat, there's like, it's insurmountable. It's unassailable. All of the car companies will be out of business by 2030. It's like, and Tesla's going to build 2 factories a year, every year. And all the, it's like, okay, big boy, you tell us everything, you're about 20 years old, 5 o'clock shadow. I love when kids barely old enough to, drink their first beer, start telling everybody how it is, start making these grandiose statements, and then, then they start charging people to get into their whatever. I don't even know what they're called. What are those things called you have and you charge people to go in? Like, you should have this. I don't even know what it's called. Plus, I don't know anything. Why would I charge you? I just tell you my opinion. You want to know something I think? Just ask me. I'll tell you for free. You don't have to join my Discord. I'm not going to take you poor bastards' money. I could probably get a bunch of people to join and get some money every month. No thanks, man. I'm not going to charge people to listen to me. Fuck that. I can barely stand myself. I should be paying you guys who watch this fucking show. I should send you all a check. Hazard pay. You fucking listen to Unpoco Moss, you beautiful son of a bitch. But anyway, guys. Anyway, Francisco, Frank, Jeremy, thank you guys for coming. The great Rahel O. I really like prop. I loved what management had to say the other day. They're talking about the growing pains. I think they were being very, very honest. And I don't think there's any, substantive. People are extremely worried about dilution. They're worried about the preferred Series F. There's going to be some dilution. The question is how much. Even if they fully dilute everything, I still think this company at the end of the day will be undervalued. I think they're going to pull more out of those wells than people think. I like their hedging strategy. They still leave some room for upside. They're hedging about 80%. Predictable cash flows. They just have to bring the resources out of the ground. And I think they have the team to do it. And I think they have the team to do it efficiently. This one rig sort of constantly being utilizing the drilling resources that you have, constantly be utilizing the crew that you have. Don't have these redundancies. Don't have these wasted costs. It looks like they're laser focused on reducing costs, controlling costs, taking every single thing. That was from the earnings call. If you listen to that and you thought it was BS, the guy's a better salesman than me. He's a better actor than me. I don't think it was acting. I don't think it was lying. And I think frankly, I'm pretty good at telling the difference. Now, you might say, hey, your track record says otherwise. You're a big fat jerk. I say, okay, well, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink. Anyway, guys, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. The great Ahmed S. Let's see. Who else was here? The Love Boat Captain. Anyway, guys, whoever was here, Keeds, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. To the great Naughty Lurker, the great Alberto Berti Aviles. I don't think they could be here tonight, but we certainly thank them for moderating the show in spirit. You guys have a great night. It's Un Poco Moss, Stan Deals, Cornbreads, Tugboats, Stan Shakes, Stock Karen, Turkin Lopez, blah, blah, freaking blah. If you hated this show as much as I did, just stop watching YouTube, go outside, kiss a girl, do something real, watch a sunset. You're obviously wasting your time here. If you found yourself watching this entire show, I think it's time to completely re-examine your life top to bottom. Real talk. Thanks, guys.